in 3, starting in 2, and starting in 1. Hello, students. Hopefully we're started by now. It's your piano teacher, Tim, here. Welcome out to a live session of piano lessons on the web. Let me know if you can't hear me or see me, because this is a live session, and I got to make sure everything is good before you really deep dive into it. But I might as well tell you why we're here today. So if you're looking for interesting ways to practice your scales beyond just playing them in parallel, 1 or 2 octaves, then you've come to the right place, because today we are going to be talking about new and interesting ways to practice your scales. And if you haven't been practicing your scales, or you don't know what scales are or how to start learning them, I want you to check out a link in the description. You can either watch, it's a link to a live stream we did about 2 weeks ago that introduces you to scales, and you can either watch that before or after this video. So if you find this video confusing, check that out. But how's everybody doing today? It looks like we're all started. Can you guys hear me? Hopefully you can. Hold on. Okay, we're good. We're good, I think. All right, everybody, let's get started now that I know that we are good to go. In the comments, let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you're currently working on. Would love to hear from new and returning students. So while we get some people in the chat here, let's just go over basics, shall we? Just to kind of get back into the swing of things from 2 weeks ago. So if you don't know, a scale is when you put all of the notes in a key together from the tonic, starting from the tonic and ending on the tonic. So what that means is, like, if you're in the key of C and you have the scale of C major, you're starting on C and you're playing from that C up to the next C. But that's not all. It has to have any sharps or flats that are in that key signature. So luckily for us, key of C, 0 sharp, 0 flats. And a lot of these beginner scales like C, G, D, and A, and E, I think. Yeah, and E. Those ones all share the same fingering, meaning you're doing 1, 2, 3, crossing under with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then coming down descending, it's the opposite. We're using up all 5 of your fingers, and then 3, 2, 1, like that. Left hand's the same kind of thing, but in reverse order: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So that's a simple fingering you can start using. Let me get a book here to show you guys something real quick. And then I'll be popping in the chat every so often, so if you have a question for me or you want to say hello and I haven't said hello to you yet, don't worry, we'll definitely get to you. If you want to learn all your scales, check out this book. So this is just like the very basic thing I want to cover before we get into how to practice these scales a little bit more interestingly, because there's a lot of things you can do to up the challenge, and that by upping the challenge, it will actually help you develop coordination and dexterity between your hands, right? So literally just found your channel yesterday, and now you're live. Well, welcome, Chasing the Goose. Always love to have new and returning students. Hey, we have Guitar on the Fly. Welcome. Glad you can hear us. Zaynep is back. Welcome back, Zaynep. Always love to have returning students as well. I'm just going to read this from Guitar on the Fly. Let's get the chat in here, shall we? Guitar on the Fly says, I wanted to say that I learned a lot from you the past month on learning to read rhythm notation. Great. There's more lessons coming about that, by the way. I'm a guitarist, and I've always wanted to deep dive into rhythm and really just not play off of good feel. Well, that's excellent. You're in the right place. And hopefully this scale lesson you'll be able to use to your benefit as you are learning. Hello, Jason Racing. Jason Racing. For some reason, I couldn't say your name. All right, I'm going to get back into the lesson portion here. I just wanted to say hi to you guys. And speaking of which, we're going to talk more about scales. So one thing that I like to start out with scales is playing them in parallel, meaning you're playing the same note between each hand, just an octave apart, right? You're literally playing them in parallel lines. Where I go from there, after you've learned all your scales in parallel, I like to do this. In fact, if students are struggling with their scales, I like to introduce this because it's actually easier than playing them for real, or playing them in parallel. You know what I mean. So we're going to talk about playing scales, and this was in the the thumbnail for today. Playing scales in contrary motion, meaning that we are going outwards and then coming back in. Now, the reason I like this for students that are struggling with the standard way of playing scales is when you play them in parallel, the finger crossings happen at different times. Like the right hand crosses first and then your left hand later. However, when you play them starting from the same note going outward and contrary, it's actually the same finger crossings. You use 1, 2, 3, and then you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you're struggling playing your scales normally, maybe you want to try them in contrary motion. I had a student, Michaela, that only ever wanted to play them in contrary motion. It was actually kind of funny. But the challenge with contrary motion comes in when you start getting scales with sharps and flats in them. Like the key of G, for example. You got to be careful that even though the finger crossings happen in the same place, these sharps and flats now do not, because you're no longer playing the same note at the same time. But the fingering, at least, is very good. So it's actually a little bit easier on the fingering and a little bit more of a brain teaser, thinking about, okay, what note do I hit next? Am I hitting a sharp note? Am I hitting a flat note? And that's why it's really, really helpful to learn all of your scales that we talked about last time. Again, check out the link in the description for that to catch you up on that. So say we had the key of E here. This one gets real tricky because you have sharps right away. But if you've been playing your scales for a long time, it's pretty easy. So that's what we call playing in contrary motion. I would start with the key of C and then do G. Oops, apparently I need to practice these. There you go. Like, it's a little bit different thinking on your mind. And then I would do D. I would do A. So have you figured out the order we are doing now? Because it's a specific order. It's the order in which you learn the scales, right? So you want to learn 0 sharp, 0 flats, and then practice the one with 1 sharp, the one with 2 sharps, the one with 3 sharps, the one with 4 sharps. What's next? The one with 5 sharps, of course. 6 sharps. You can tell I've been doing this for a long time. And then 7 sharps. Let's see if I can do... Oh, I messed it up. All right, I even got that C sharp one. So the key is play them in contrary in the same order that you actually learn your scales in. All right, any questions about contrary motion? We have a lot more to cover here. Let's get the chat in here. Hey, it doesn't look like we have any new. Hey, we got Sam here, actually. We're having a great day, Sam. Thanks for coming. Moreno, thanks for coming. I used to have my best friend in college. Her last name was Moreno. KG, or KJ, thank you for coming from Canada. All right, let's get the next one in here, which is we're playing scales in parallel. And you're like, wait a second, isn't that what you said first? No. So I want to talk a little bit about playing scales in parallel because there's more to do than just that with playing them in parallel. And what I like to do for every scale, especially when you're first learning them, is this. Start out playing 1 octave quarter notes. And then, when you finish that, you want to do 2 octaves, 8th notes. Then, you want to do 3 octaves in triplets. And I want to share a pro tip for you after we play the next one, which is 4 octaves in 16th notes. So you can see what we're doing. 1 octave, quarter, right? A quarter note gets each 1 beat. 2 octaves, 8th, so we split it into 2. 3 octaves for 3 triplets, we split it into 3. And now we're doing 16th notes for 4 octaves. And something I want to tell you is with piano, there's a reason that piano teachers always talk about your fingernails. And my fingernails actually aren't even that bad today. Sometimes they are. And I don't know if you could hear it in the microphone, but there was this constant clicking. And this thumb or this fingernail is just the teeniest amount too much. So if you start getting that clickety clack, you might want to file down your fingernails or clip them. And if you're a lady that likes long fingernails, well, you're going to have to clickety clack on the keyboards. But I just want to tell you that when you first learn these scales, all of them, 1 octave, quarter notes, 2 octaves, eighth notes, 3 octaves, triplets, 4 octaves, sixteenths, and that will help you build towards playing in sixteenths. Because it can be a lot, like going from playing 1 octave like this, and then you're like, all right, I need 4 times faster, right? And it becomes really sloppy. So when you build on it, it's a lot easier to play in time and tackle them that way. All right, how's everybody doing? Okay, we did contrary. Oh, I want to teach you scales in thirds. So normally we play in parallel, same note, an octave apart, right? The whole idea of playing in thirds is you're going to start on the first note of the scale with one hand, but you're actually going to start on the third note of the scale with another, which is going to change up where the finger crossings happen. That is tricky. It's trickier than it seems. And one of the things I had trouble with is I'm used to crossing at a certain time, and I got confused coming down. I was like, ooh, I don't know like whether I should cross on 4 or 3. And I actually have a tip for you for this. So when you are playing any scale, left hand or right hand, always keep note of what note plays with finger 4, because that note is the same every time. So what I mean by that is if I'm playing C major scale, B is hit with the 4th finger. So when I'm doing this, playing, multiple octaves going up, and I'm coming back down, and I get here, and I'm like, oh no, what do you think? Should I use finger 3 or 4 on this B? Remember what I said, it's always the same finger, 4. And that can help you when you get here too, because you're thinking, oh no, what finger do I cross with, 3 or 4? Well, it has to be 3, because 4 is for the B. And that helps me so much with finger crossings, especially when I'm playing multiple octaves up and down. It really makes all the difference in the world. All right, any questions so far? Let me know. I'll be checking in every so often with you guys to see how you're doing. Yes, I can hear you. Great, Alex. Alexandria, welcome. Sylvia Paul's back. Welcome. Glad to have you guys with us. Let's see what Sam always is very insightful, especially when it comes to scales. Scales in parallel can be practiced in many ways, okay? Whether it be different note durations, and that's one thing we're going to get to in a second. And I included that just because you mentioned that last time. Different note durations in each hand, so maybe playing eighth notes in one hand, quarter notes in another, or triplets and quarter notes. And then starting different intervals. Ooh, I did not include that one. That's something I'm going to have to think about a little bit. Different voicing. That's interesting. Different articulation. Oh, that's, you know what? That's interesting. Hold on. That's interesting. I didn't even think about that. Again, so insightful. Articulation is like on one hand you're playing them smoothly together, and then the other one you're playing staccato. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Or any combination of them. There you go. There you go. I know one thing my teacher always used to teach me, and then I'll teach you what we had in the rest of today's lesson. He used to do like slur staccato type things. Because a lot of people struggle doing that. But excellent insights from Sam. Let's continue here. We're actually moving along pretty good. This one might be a little bit shorter than usual today, but I do have a lot of announcements, luckily. So Eighth note in one hand, quarter notes in the left, or eighth note in right hand, quarter notes in the left. All right, let's get it here. Hold on, let me just practice this for a second. Okay, I got it. What you want to do is you want to play quarter notes in your left hand, eighth notes in your right hand. So for every quarter note in your left hand, you're going to hit 2 right hand notes, like that. And then you want to come back down the other way. So it's... If you did it right, you should hit C at the same time. And that kind of builds on what Sam was saying, how you are basically changing up the patterns between each hand, which kind of, it makes it much more challenging on the mind. Okay, and then you can do the opposite. You know, you can do quarter notes. Wait. Oh, maybe I had to do it 2 octaves apart, I think. And again, if you did it right, you should land on C at the same time. So I want to mention, when you do eighth notes in the left hand, quarter notes in the right, keep in mind, and I didn't think about this ahead of time, that these move twice as fast up the keyboard as your right hand does. So your left hand will catch up to your right hand unless you split them an octave apart. So just keep that in mind as well. So that's another thing you can do to make them a bit more interesting. How about, let's see, 16th notes in right hand, quarters in the left. Oops. Oh, I need to do 4 octaves. Hold on. Oh, see, I had to have messed up. Oops. This one is really a twister on my mind for some reason. Hold on. Let me keep trying it. See, these actually are really good practice, because even this one I can't quite get right. Maybe it doesn't work with... Am I missing something here? Okay, coming down, I was able to get it easier, but that's something I'm going to have to practice on. So if you've really been thinking scales are super easy, just think about some other ways that you can change up the patterns between each hand. I think I've even seen people do it where they play a scale in their left hand, like C major, and then they play a scale that's 5 notes up, G major, at the same time. And that's pretty interesting too, because you have the finger crossings hitting at different times, and then you also have different key signatures between each hand. You can see it sounded pretty funky there. Let's see what you guys have to say in the chat, shall we? Or see if Sam has anything else to say to us about this. Let's see. Currently on, let me make sure I got to everybody. It feels exceptionally brave. One can play different scales in each hand. If one feels, okay, this is exactly what we're talking about. If one feels exceptionally brave, one can play different scales between each hand. Yes, many ways to practice hand independence. Very true. And in fact, I should probably make a hand independence video using these scales. Hold on. Uh, I always like to write down these ideas because you'd be surprised how I'm going to forget about it literally 5 minutes after this. Hand independence with scales. I think I can make a whole video on that. That would be pretty good, to be honest. And I think you guys would like it. Give me a good reason for practicing scales. Okay, you're on. Great reason to practice your scales is as follows. This is actually a great question. I love it. Because I get this question from students all the time. Like, why are we doing this? Like, do we have to do this, Mr. Tim? Yes. Yes, we do. Scales are great for finger dexterity, which is being able to use your fingers on the piano at the right times, right? Hand coordination or, hand independence and things like that it helps with. Actually, hand independence is technically you're playing different things between each hand, which is what we're doing today. But normal scales introduce you to simple finger crossings at different times, so it helps build simple coordination. Also, very important, is a scale, as I mentioned in the intro, is all of the notes that exist in a key from beginning to end, starting on the tonic note. So if you're in the key of C, tonic is C. You're playing from tonic to the next tonic and any scale notes in between. Now, if you're looking at the key of C, maybe it doesn't make a lot of sense. But if you're looking at the key of A or something with sharps or flats, and you know how to play that scale, and then you go to play a piece in that key, so I just played the key of A, those sharps right here and right here are in the same place whether I'm playing the A major scale or I'm playing a piece in the key of A major, right? They're in the same spots. So it really helps teach you not only how many sharps or flats are in each key, but where specifically on the piano those sharps or flats are. For example, the key of B, a lot of people get wrong. They know maybe that the sharps are here, but maybe they think an extra sharp is here. So by practicing the scale, you not only know where the sharps are, but you know where all the white keys are supposed to be. Because I'm telling you, when I was learning this B scale, I used to always do this. And you know something's wrong. But because I've been playing it so many times, I know that there's E naturals throughout instead of playing E sharp. So that's the biggest reason that we learn our scales. Never skip them. Please spend the time to learn them. There is a purpose. There is a purpose behind this stuff. Sam, more good insights from Sam. Scales are easy to learn. They help build strength and finger dexterity. They also help build hand independence. So all the stuff we've been talking about. Great. Strength I didn't talk about, but same type of thing. It's like lifting weights, right? And help you get accustomed to a certain key, exactly. Even helping you with fingering and more. Thank you, Sam. Sam's, like I said, Sam's so insightful with all this stuff. Sarah, hi all. I'm so happy. I haven't caught a live here in a while. Welcome, Sarah. We actually haven't had a live in 2 weeks or so. We're trying to have them more often, which I actually have some announcements coming up. But I think we got the second one in this month so far, so we're improving. We're improving. But great to have you with us, Sarah, today. I didn't think I would do... Oh, wait. I wouldn't think... Man, I can't read today. I wouldn't think, but I would... I didn't think I would... I don't... Why can't I say this? I didn't think I would, but I do enjoy playing with scales in different ways, and I found it really helpful. Great. Excellent. I don't know why. I didn't think I would. Because I think I'm expecting a comma there. So it's a little bit of a run-on. But it's mostly my fault. I can't read today. Good to hear. Yep. Another different reason to learn them would be for composition. Many pieces make interesting sounds and effects with non-conventional scales like octatonic or whole tone scales. So a whole tone scale, I'm going to be honest, I don't really... I'd have to look up what octatonic is. I don't quite remember. I assume it's a scale with actually 8 notes instead of 7. Is that right? A whole tone scale is a scale, I do know what that is, that's all in whole steps. It's kind of a tongue twister. and or a finger twister rather. You're not going to see that in music a whole lot unless you are playing 12-tone music. 12-tone music's real weird. I don't know if I'll ever teach it on this channel, but all 12-tone music is instead of coming up with a 7-note scale, you come up with your own scale made of 12 notes. And there's a way they do it. Sometimes they use whole tones, which are whole steps and things like that. But yeah, that's a whole tone scale. Octatonic, huh? Tell me what octatonic is, Sam, so I don't have to look it up. I worded that not great, LOL. That's okay. I just couldn't read. My brain was just like, what is happening here? That's okay. Another reason would be to learn them would be for oh yeah, you already said that. I'm gonna look up what octatonic is. I've heard of this before, but I haven't. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't heard it since I took music theory level 4 15 years ago. Let's look up what octatonic is, guys. Just give me a second, and Sam's probably gonna tell me as I'm looking it up. Tonic is an 8-note musical scale. I did it. I guessed correctly, or I remembered actually. However, the term most often refers to encohemat. Oh my god. Encohematonic symmetric scale composed of alternating whole and half steps. Is that what it is? Whole and half steps. Oh, it's this one. No, I know this scale. So it's like the whole tone scale, except you alternate whole and half steps. I did know this. I did know about it. What, dude? The wording here is the craziest thing ever. Let me read you what it says, because it's literally like broke my mind when I read it. Okay, an octatonic scale is any 8-note musical scale. However, the term often refers to the encohematonic, I swear to you that's the word, encohematonic symmetric scale. And look, musicology commonly classifies scales as either hematonic, I don't know, how do I not know this, or anhematonic. Hematonic scales contain one or more semitones. So like a normal scale, right? Like a major scale, while anhematonic scales do not contain semitones. Okay, like a whole tone scale, right? Okay, interesting. I'm learning some new things here, guys. Encohematonic. I cannot believe that's the word they use. Symmetric. I know what symmetric is. You know, it's the same on each end. Scale. Okay. Interesting. I'm having fun with this. See what Sam says here. And there's no way to tell this without without looking it up. Well, I told you guys, antihematonic or whatever I said. Average music theory being rocket science and wording. I agree. You know what? The one thing I've never liked about music theory, about like learning music theory, is every theory book, if you don't know theory, you read through it and they purposely use words like what I read to you all the time, and you have to decipher what they mean. But I'm glad I wasn't the only one that didn't know, or not that you didn't know, but like I wasn't the only one that couldn't explain it without looking it up. But oh, that's fun. So if you guys want to know about that octatonic scale, go for it, you know. All right, I want to spend let me look over my outline. I think we pretty much covered touch base on a lot of the ways that you can play scales in different ways. And remember, the whole key is changing up the patterns between each hand. Either you're playing a different scale with one hand and a different one with other. You're playing them from the inside out, you know, contrary motion. You're playing them in parallel, but you're doing different rhythms between each one. That 16th note one was hard, I'm telling you that. So try that one where you're playing quarters in one hand, 16ths in the other. And yeah, that's the whole key. I do have some announcements that I want to talk to you guys about that are kind of exciting. So I mentioned before 2 weeks ago that we're going to have more regular live streams, and then I missed the one last week. Sorry about that. It was just a last minute thing. I had been editing, I guess going into the next announcement, I was editing the videos for next month, and I got to Friday and I was like, oh, I have nothing planned. So we just skipped it, unfortunately. But the plan is, number one, this is very important. New recorded, edited videos that are not the lives. You know, it's been a while since we put some out. They are coming back on October 5th. So there's one coming October 5th. There's one coming October 12th. There's another one coming October 19th. And then there's going to be a fourth video released on the 26th, which is more often than we've been releasing them up to now, because I have a strategy on how to get content out more frequently, more consistently, and keep the quality high, right? And one of those, there's a couple aspects to it, but one of the aspects is making the videos a month in advance. So I already have, the reason I know those videos are coming out, you know, unless something crazy happens, knock on wood, it won't happen, we'll be good. The reason I know that is because I have all 4 of those videos filmed already. I've been editing them. 3 of them are like almost completely edited. You know, they're like 90% there. And then I really just have one more video to edit over this next week before I start releasing them. So that's how I know that there's going to be consistent videos coming out, is because they're already almost done. And I think I'm going to start doing the same thing with the live streams to get those a little bit more consistent, is writing the live streams or coming up with the outlines of what we're going to do a month in advance. So when, say, Friday rolls around and I realize I haven't done the outline for the live stream, well, it was already done a month ago. So I think that that's the way to do it. And but those videos for sure are coming out. The next live stream we're going to have is going to be on the 4th of October, the day before the first video comes out. So we are going to be next week, same time. We will not be meeting on the 11th, but hopefully we'll be meeting on the 18th and 25th. Now, the thing where I make the live streams a month in advance, that's probably not going to totally roll out until November, because I haven't started on that, doing them in advance yet. So it'll be a little bit different. But I just want to let you guys know, because there's more videos coming out, and they're going to come out more consistently. I have a new strategy. I don't know if you guys know. Some of you know. I was taking this course over the whole summer. I was learning about YouTube, like super in depth, like reading, or not even reading, but learning about YouTube like every day. In fact, I still study YouTube a good like 5 days of the week or so, doing what we call recon and research. But anyway, I just want to let you guys know that I learned a lot over the summer, and I'm working on integrating that stuff into the new content coming out. And also, like, the content creation strategy, I pulled some ideas from this course, and that's how we're doing things from now on. But I just want to let you guys know that there is some new stuff coming. And I think it's going to work out a lot better. I think it's also going to be a lot less stressful for me, because, and then we'll move on after this, but there's a lot of moving parts with a YouTube video, right? You have to have the right idea. So you have to like kind of research, look around, see what a good idea may be, see if an idea would be good on the channel, or how do you make it into your own idea, really. So there's that. You got to come up with a good title. You got to come up with a good thumbnail, which would take longer than you think. Actually, you have to come up with 3 thumbnails for each video. And then I have to write the outline for the video. I have to film the video. Before, the way we were doing it, I had to give it to my editor. And then we'd go back and forth with any changes. So in a 7-day period, that's an insane amount of stuff to have to fit into place. And that was like one of the big struggles I was having, was if the slightest thing went wrong, I would miss the upload day. And then in which case you should kind of just wait until the next week rolls around, rather than uploading it on a weird day. So making them advance, I think, is the way to do it. So I just want to share that with you guys. Any comments or questions about what we talked about today? I know it was a little bit shorter than normal, but I will stick around to answer any questions. But I just want you guys know I've been hard at work. There's new stuff coming out. I'm really excited. I think these 4 videos coming out next month are going to be stuff that you guys really like. They're more proven topics. What I would like to do, because I've learned this in this course too, is I would like to start trying new ideas. But there's a specific way you got to roll that out. Like, you can't, sorry, there's a fly over there. You can't just start doing new ideas on a channel and have that be all the new videos as new stuff. Because that'll, if that stuff isn't connecting with the audience, it's going to affect the channel negatively. But anyway, we're figuring this out one day at a time. I just want to let you guys know what I was up to. One thing I want to tell you before we go. Well, two things. One is I have courses over on my website, pianolessonsontheweb.com, so you can check that out. Code YouTube for an additional 15% off. But I also want to link you guys to our Discord, which is free, by the way. The Discord is. Courses cost a little bit of money, but you know, it's an investment in your own music education. But let me get you guys a thing here. Hold on. I'm such a boomer when it comes to invite people. There we go. Just give me a second, guys. They don't make this easy. I always have to go and you got to set it to never expire. And I mean, I guess I could generate the link ahead of time, but that would be too smart. Anyway, guys, this is the link to our Discord. It's a free community. I always love to, you know, learn with you guys for sure. All right, any last minute comments or questions? It doesn't look like it. So I just want to say thank you guys for coming out. Thank you for your support, whether you just watch all the videos or you watch some of the videos, you're a paid member, or maybe you're just a mod like Sam. I shouldn't say just a mod. A mod is a special, he was specially selected to be a mod. I shouldn't say like, oh, and if you're just a mod. Anyways, or if you bought courses over my website, pianolessonsontheweb.com, I always like to thank you guys so much. You keep the channel running. Trust me, without your support, I would still be here. I'd be doing something else by now. And I just think that this is such a great opportunity to teach you guys, and I just love it. I just love it. All right, guys, have a great day. I'll see you next week around the same time. And then new videos coming out. WMod. Looking forward to all the new videos. Thank you, Terry. They will be awesome. Muffin says WMod. I agree. Also, the videos coming out are going to be pretty long. Well, longish. They're going to be like 30, 40 minutes. So you guys will have plenty to watch. You're welcome, Sarah. Thanks for coming today. And I appreciate you guys all so much. Take care. Bye. You too. So long, everybody. Remember to like the video.